Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting for Tuesday, August 1st. For introduction purposes, my name is Todd Wilchin. I am the chair of the board this year. On my left, fellow commissioners Jennifer Brinkman and Deb Shore. On my right, commissioners Roma Amundsen and vice chair Commissioner Bill Avery. Joining us this morning from the County Attorney's Office, David Durbin. From the County Clerk's Office, Dan Nolte and Kelly Lundgren. From the County Board Office, we have the Chief Administrative Officer, Mr. Kerry Egan, and our Chief Deputy Administrative Officer, Deputy Chief Administrative Officer, Ann Ames. So if you would, please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mr. Clerk, would you please start the agenda?
A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located on a wall at the rear of the hearing room. Additionally, a copy of all written material to be discussed at today's open meeting is available from the county clerk's staff at the front of the hearing room. The material can also be viewed on the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Agenda item 1 are minutes. Approval of minutes of the Board of Commissioners meeting held on Tuesday, July 25th, 2017.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the Board of Commissioners meeting held last Tuesday, July 25th. Any discussion or corrections? Hearing none, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Avery?
Yes.
Brinkman?
Yes.
Shore?
Abstain.
Amundsen?
Abstain.
Wilchin?
Yes.
Motion carries 3 yes, 1 abstention, or excuse me, 2 abstentions. Number 2 are claims. Approval of all claims processed through August 1st, 2017.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve all claims processed through August 1st. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Brinkman?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Amundsen?
Yes.
Avery?
Yes.
Wilchin?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 3 is a special presentation, Lancaster County Visitors Improvement Fund grant to the Lincoln Community Foundation for the Public Art Engagement Project. Lori Thomas, Director, Lincoln Partners for Public Art Development.
Good morning, Ms. Thomas.
Good morning. Thank you for having me here. I'm Lori Thomas with Lincoln Partners for Public Art Development, and we are a fund at the Lincoln Community Foundation. I just want to say thank you for accepting our application for this grant. We intend to use it to create a public art app that will be used throughout the city, and it will cover 50 pieces of art. We're partnering with the Sheldon at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, so pieces from the Sheldon's collection and the city will be covered, and we hope it helps extend our outreach to the public and their understanding of public art. So thank you very much.
Are there any questions for Ms. Thomas? Commissioner Shore?
Do you have any idea what the timeline of the project, when the app might be available?
Yes, we intend to unveil it in April, and it will be rolled out with a project that we're doing with Parks and Rec, and we hope to have either like an amazing art race or a treasure hunt, so to speak, to really get the word out and make it a fun, family-oriented event.
Commissioner Avery?
Will you be collecting statistics on how many people use this?
Yes, they're built right into the product that we're purchasing, and so we'll be able to see how many clicks, how many users, where they're at, so whether they're using them right here in the city or if people around the country are using it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
We think so. Thank you very much.
Are there any other questions? Okay, Mr. Clerk, please take us to the correlating item 6A.
This is under new business, Lancaster County Visitors Improvement Fund grant contract, the Lincoln Community Foundation, in the amount of $10,000 for the Public Art Engagement Project. The term of the grant contract is June 1st, 2017 through April 30th, 2018.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the Lancaster County Visitors Improvement Fund grant contract with the Lincoln Community Foundation for the Public Art Engagement Project. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Next is number 4, a public hearing. This is a hearing regarding an amusement license application from the Karen Cultural Committee of Lincoln to hold the 3rd annual Karen National Dawn Dance Competition on August 12th through the 13th, 2017 at 5600 West Adams Street, Lincoln, Nebraska.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and open the public hearing regarding the amusement license application from the Karen Cultural Committee of Lincoln to hold the 3rd annual Karen National Dawn Dance Competition on August 12th, 13th. Anyone here testifying in support of this application? Yep, come on up to the mic if you would. Thanks. And then, good morning. The clerk will administer the oath, and then you'll be given an opportunity to present your information.
So if you want to raise your right hand, do you solemnly swear from the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I will.
If you please sign in, and then, yeah. Good morning. And if you'd be so kind to introduce yourself.
Yes, my name is Kam Nang, and I'm the one that applied for this application. And I'm a volunteer working with the Karen community. And we have this event on August 12 and 13, and we just submitted this application a few weeks ago. And I'm here to answer any question if you may have.
Just for our benefit, if you could just tell us a little bit about the event.
This will be, I just relay this to Mr. Diku. He's the coordinator and organizer for the event, and he knows more about this than I do, that's why.
Okay.
And my name is Diku, and it is a current tradition, wrist tying ceremony event and dawn dance competitions. So we usually do it every year, but just a small groups. And this year we have several cultural groups from different city to participate to celebrate our current culture ceremony, wrist tying ceremony. So,
About how many people do you anticipate participating in the event?
600 to 800 people.
Okay. So very large. Commissioner Shore?
Can you talk a little bit about parking plans? I know that the event's over at 6 o'clock, so it's not a late night activity, which is good to know, but just that's a lot of people coming and going.
Yes, the location that we chose was bought by the Nebraska Theravada Buddhist Association, and it's about 2.9 acres, and it's out in the Air Park, Northwest 56 and at West Adam. And we have a large number of space for the parking, and if that's not the it's overflow, we already discussed with the LPS to use their Arnold Elementary parking place, and we have the shuttle system to take people there.
Any other questions for the applicant? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else here?
Thank you very much.
Anyone else in the audience here to testify in support of this application? Okay. Anyone in the audience here to testify in opposition? Anyone here to testify in the neutral capacity? Okay. Hearing none, I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing. Mr. Clerk, please see the correlating item.
This is new business 6B, an amusement license application from the Karen Cultural Committee of Lincoln hold the 3rd annual Karen National Dawn Dance Competition on August 12th and 13th, 2017 at 5600 West Adams Street, Lincoln, Nebraska.
Move approval. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the amusement license application from the Karen Cultural Committee of Lincoln to hold the 3rd Annual Karen National Dawn Dance Competition on August 12th and 13th. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Amundson, Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 5 is unfinished business. 5A is a software sharing agreement between the Nebraska State Patrol and Lancaster County at the request of the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office for use of Mac software. The cost of the county is $24 per user per year. Term of the agreement is 1 year from the date of execution.
Dave Durbin, Deputy County Attorney, Lancaster County Attorney's Office. The board may remember that this was on last week's agenda, and the board approved this agreement. Unfortunately, due to an update in Outlook 16, the agreement itself did not appear on the agenda, and so the board essentially approved the exhibit to the agreement. Nothing has changed from Sheriff Wagner's testimony the last time. This is basically just getting the agreement in front of the board so that there's a proper approval.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Durbin?
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the software sharing agreement with the Nebraska State Patrol for use of mock software. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. B is an agreement with Joseph Higgins, Ph.D., for the provision of up to 320 hours per year of specialized psychological services for the Mental Health Crisis Center at the rate of $75 per hour.
Morning, Scott Etherton with the Mental Health Crisis Center. This is a contract for a covering psychologist to provide services in absence of the full-time psychologist.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Etherton? Commissioner Avery?
Mr. Higgins is not a full-time psychologist?
No, he's the one who would be providing the backup coverage for Dr. Lajardro. Dr. Lajardro is actually having surgery, so he's going to be out for a little while.
So you expect that you'll need the full 320 hours?
I'm not sure. We'll have to see how long the coverage lasts due to the illness. The 320 has been a standard in the contract for quite a while.
But Dr. Higgins has also done work with you before, hasn't he?
No, this is the first time he would have.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions?
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the agreement with Dr. Joseph Higgins for specialized psychological services at a Mental Health Crisis Center. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. New business 6C is a special designated license applications from Ken's Liquor for the following events: reception at Roca Ridge, 5265 Prairie Sage Drive, Roca on September 9, 2017, and reception at Prairie Creek Inn, 2400 South 148th Street, Walton on September 9th, 2017.
Move approval. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the special designated license applications from Ken's Liquor for 2 events. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. D is a resolution in the matter of the 2017-2018 annual cost of living wage adjustments for unrepresented classified employees, attorney 1s and 2s, and deputy sheriff captains. All wage adjustments are to be effective August 17, 2017.
Move approval. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the 2017-2018 annual cost of living wage adjustments for unrepresented classified employees, attorneys 1s and 2s, and deputy sheriff captains. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. E is an agreement between the Organized Crime Drug Enforcement Task Force Program in Lancaster County at the request of the Lancaster County Sheriff to assist OCD ETF in the interdiction initiative. The county shall be reimbursed up to $5,000 in overtime costs for work between July 1st, 2017 through September 30th, 2017.
Good morning.
Hi there, Captain Tom Brookhauser. The sheriff asked me to stop in if you had questions on this. Basically, it's an agreement with the Sheriff's Office and Homeland Security to pay up to reimburse us up to $5,000 for the next 3 months to continue a large-scale human trafficking investigation along with our drug investigations. This money would be used to pay investigators overtime as we continue to investigate these matters.
Any questions for the captain?
Move approval. Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the agreement between the Organized Crime Drug Enforcement Task Force Program in Lancaster County to assist in the interdiction initiative. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Captain.
F is a memorandum of understanding between the Fraternal Order of Police Lodge Number 32 and the County of Lancaster, Nebraska to implement a 6-month pilot program governing the granting and denial of vacation leave, compensatory time, and holiday leave.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the memorandum of understanding between the Fraternal Order of Police Lodge Number 32 in Lancaster County to implement a 6-month pilot program governing the granting and denial of vacation leave, compensatory time, and holiday leave. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 6G is an agreement with the University of Nebraska Board of Regents and the Lincoln Housing Authority for operation of the Nutrition Education Program to address the nutritional needs of certain limited income persons living in urban housing in Lancaster County. The county will pay up to $19,941 for the services provided by the university. The Housing Authority will pay $10,519 for the services, combined with $10,825 from the United States Department of Agriculture Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Term of the agreement is September 1st, 2017 through August 31st, 2018.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the agreement with the University of Nebraska Board of Regents and the Lincoln Housing Authority for operation of the Nutrition Education Program. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. H is a recommendation from the Purchasing Department, Corrections and Youth Services to award a contract for the annual supply of correctional facility clothing and supplies to Bob Barker Company, Inc. and Uniforms Manufacturing, Inc. The estimated amount is $75,000 per year.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the recommendation from Purchasing Department, Corrections and Youth Services to award a contract for the annual supply of correctional facility, clothing, and supplies to Bob Barker Company and Uniforms Manufacturing. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. I are amendments to the following contracts for the annual supply of tires, tubes, and tire repair services. The amendment extends the contracts for an additional 90-day term beginning August 1st, 2017 through October 31st, 2017. And this is for County Contract C-13-378 with Bauer Built tire and service in the amount not to exceed $1,000, and County Contract C-17-379 with Cross Dillon Tire in an amount not to exceed $20,000.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to amend the following contracts for the annual supply of tires, tubes, and tire repair services with Bauer Built Tire and Service and Cross Dillon Tire. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 6J is an amendment to County Contract C-15-520 with Vigilant American LLC for electronic monitoring equipment and services. The amendment renews the contract from April 1st, 2017 through March 31st, 2018. The estimated cost of the county is not to exceed $18,000.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to amend the county contract with Vigilant American LLC for electronic monitoring equipment and services. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. K are amendments to the following contracts for the annual requirements of equipment and accessory rental. The amendment renews the contracts for a 3-year term from August 5th, 2017 through August 4th, 2020. The combined cost for all contracts is not to exceed $60,000 during this term, and this includes County Contract C-14-380 with Hamilton Equipment Company, County Contract C-14-379 with NMC Inc., and County Contract C-14-378 with Sunbelt Rentals.
Move approval. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to amend the following contracts for the annual requirements of equipment and accessory rentals with Hamilton Equipment, NMC Inc., and Sunbelt Rentals. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 6L is an amendment to County Contract C-15-368 with Wayland Engineering Company for LED emergency light bars, siren, warning accessories, and other related accessories. The amendment renews the contract from August 1st, 2017 through July 31st, 2018. The cost of county is not to exceed $2,000.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to amend the county contract with Wheelan Engineering Company for LED emergency light bars, siren warning accessories, and other related accessories. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 6M is an amendment to County Contract C-13-495 with Data Shield Corporation for on-site secure document shredding. The amendment renews the contract from July 15th, 2017 through July 14th, 2018. The combined cost of the county and Lincoln-Lancaster County Public Building Commission shall not exceed $5,000.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to amend the contract with Data Shield Corporation for on-site secure document shredding. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. N is to authorize Pam Dingman, Lancaster County Engineer, to sign the annual certification form for Lancaster County for the period of time from July 1st, 2016 to June 30th, 2017, in accordance with Section 5 and 6 of the Federal Aid Transportation Fund Purchase Sale Agreement between the State of Nebraska Department of Roads and Lancaster County.
Move approval. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to authorize Pam Dingman to sign the annual certification form for Lancaster County. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. O is a resolution authorizing the chair of the board to sign an agreement with the Nebraska Department of Roads for consultant inspection and load re-rating on county fracture critical bridges. The cost of county under the agreement is estimated to be $10,263.96.
Move approval. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to authorize the chair to sign an agreement with the Nebraska Department of Roads for consultation, inspection, and load re-rating on county fracture critical bridges. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 6P are contracts with following medical providers for specialized medical care of general assistance clients. Providers will be reimbursed at the Medicaid rate, and this includes Crossroads Physical Therapy, PC, Husker Rehab and Wellness Center, PC, Lincoln OB/GYN, PC, Lincoln Orthopedic Physical Therapy, Lincoln PT and Sports Rehab, Lincoln Pulmonary and Critical Care, Lisa Manzer, MD, Frederick Mozoff, MD, Nebraska Foot and Ankle, PC, Nebraska Neurosurgery Group, Pathology Medical Services, Plastic Surgical Arts, David Samani, MD, South Lincoln Dermatology, and Arthritis Center of Nebraska.
Move approval. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the contracts with medical providers for specialized medical care of general assistance clients. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Q is a grant contract with CenterPoint in the amount of $323,930 for the following programs: community support, outpatient counseling, medical management, and day rehabilitation. The contract is funded by the Joint Budget Committee for the period of July 1st, 2017 through June 30th, 2018.
Good morning, Topher.
Good morning. Should I sign in,
Sure.
please? Just so we all know who I am.
Just a reminder.
So good morning, everyone. I'm Topher Hansen. I'm the CEO of CenterPoint, and I'm here to give you a bit of information about the contract that's before you. I was thinking of this this morning and thought, you know, this relationship goes back to 1972, where our actual first corporate name was Lincoln Lancaster Drug Projects, sort of in honor of the Joint Budget Committee effort to support the services that we started to provide at that time, drug treatment for people who didn't have resources to pay for it, needed a different kind of treatment than what was available in the community at that time, and a different philosophy, and was able to support people who were indigent and needed help. And we have been on that mission ever since. In fact, our mission today is quite simple and quite broad. It's to help people get better sooner for longer. And so that idea encompasses physical health, mental health, substance issues, and the basic needs that most people that we see walk in our doors have in terms of housing and other kinds of food, clothing, all those basic needs that are important to all of us. So your funding to CenterPoint now goes to 4 particular programs, and this is, over the years, has moved around, and we've tried to focus it on the areas that we have particular trouble making ends meet, and that we also think focus on helping people get better sooner for longer and move people out of a homeless poverty situation in Lincoln and Lancaster County. So we have almost 1,300 people that we serve on any given day. And in those programs that you fund, We have varying amounts of people, but ranging from over 200 to almost 400 in some of those programs, receiving med management, day rehabilitation to help figure out how to stay well in the community and live independently, counseling, and then what we call community support, or we also call it care management, that just helps people guide. It sort of becomes their coach to move with them down the road to getting better. So about this year in our statistics, we've seen about 40% of the people that have walked in our door this year have been homeless at their admission. With our increased numbers, actually that has reduced the percentage overall. It used to be a year ago it was about 65%. I don't know, we're seeing more people, but I couldn't tell you if we're seeing less homeless. I think about the same number is true, actually. So the point of that is that we need to then get connected to the issues that are at the basis of their homelessness so we can begin to get them in housing and in treatment services that help them get independent in our community. And part of that is that they might go on, just as your item before this addressed, go on general assistance to get some services. We have 2 people that are dedicated inside our program to look at the people in our program to see if they would qualify for Social Security, and if so, then we will make that application for them. Then, of course, that gets them Medicaid, so not only do they have a wage, but then they also have health insurance. In our last year's numbers, 55% of the people that walked in our door had made less than $1,000 a year. 75% made less than $5,000 a year. And everybody, with the exception of very, very few, are indigent. So we are dealing with a group of people in our city, in our county, that are the most needy in terms of their health care and their income and their security. And so what we want to do is begin to walk them through that. On any given night, we house 260 people in houses that we own or apartments that we work with landlords, and we provide a subsidy and a care manager to help them begin to walk that journey towards getting better. So we have considered this a really valuable public-private partnership over the years. We see the money that we get from you as an investment in the people of Lincoln and Lancaster County to get better. And so we have tried to focus it on ways that will impact your budget. By helping people get better, not be on general assistance, if we can get them on Social Security and other things, and to be independent in the community. So we think it's strategic. We think it's a great investment. It has been critical to us. I have said to this county board for well over a decade that you can go back in our budget for all the time we've existed and probably count on one hand the number of times that if you pulled your money out of our budget, we'd be closed. That's how important it is to us. We don't do this lightly. My preference is to operate as a business and stand independently as much as we can, but the fact of the matter is, with the rates we get paid, that we have to have some assistance in getting this job done. So we look to our donors in the community and also to you as well as other resources to help us make ends meet, and we do appreciate that. And I'm happy to answer further questions if you have any.
Any questions for Mr. Hanson?
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the grant contract with CenterPoint for community support, outpatient counseling, medical management, and day rehabilitation. Any discussion? Okay, please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you, Topher, for being with us today.
Yes, thank you.
6R is a grant contract with the CenterPoint in an amount of $10,000 for the Youth Crisis Line Program. The contract is funded by the Nebraska Commission on law enforcement and criminal justice juvenile services age state grant number 16 EB 607. The term of the grant contract is June 1st, 2017 through June 30th, 2017.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the grant contract with CenterPoint for the Youth Crisis Line Program. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. S is a grant contract with Omni Behavioral Health in the amount of $26,297 for the in-home family therapy program. The contract is funded by the Joint Budget Committee for the period of July 1st, 2017 through June 30th, 2018.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the grant contract with Omni Behavioral Health for the in-home family therapy program. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. T is a grant contract with Bright Lights in the amount of $7,500 for the Summer Learning Adventures program. The contract is funded by Juvenile Justice Prevention Funds for the period of July 1st, 2017 through June 30th, 2018.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the grant contract with Bright Lights for the Summer Learning Adventures program. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. U is a grant contract with People City Mission in the amount of $35,000 for the Family Shelter Program. The contract is funded by the Joint Budget Committee for the period of July 1st, 2017 through June 30th, 2018.
Take a look, guys.
Yes, please, Pastor. Come on up.
First of all, God bless you guys. Good seeing you again. Appreciate it.
Over the microphone.
Yeah, it would be good to be on the mic, wouldn't it? Okay. Thanks. Well, first of all, I want to thank you guys for the grant and for all you do for the community. I know many of you have been out to the mission, but we continue to be busy. I think last year we saw 33,000 different people in the city with our various programs, and a lot of that has to do with our clinic. We had about 16,000, 17,000 patient visits last year, and most of those have no tie to the mission other than the clinic. So that kind of changed our numbers. The shelter, right now, the only thing going on different is that in our Curtis Center, which is our 2-year transitional housing program, in addition to vets, which have been there, we are now starting to house folks from the state. They're asking to use it for people that are on probation. And then the county, Kim Eckerson, has hoped for a grant. And if she gets a grant, she wants to put pre-diversion people in our Curtis Center. So that's sort of a change. And we should be getting more folks. I'm on the Justice Council. I know we've talked about that some. We have a shuttle bus. I don't know if you guys seen it buzzing around town, but we are doing giving rides from the Mission to 27th and O and back, and on either side about 2 or 3 blocks. And we're giving the homeless rides, but also guys on the street. And then we are partnering with up to 40 companies we're lining up now that will hand out sack lunches to these folks twice a day. And we're pretty excited about that. That is basically being funded all with the various donations. Baxter Toyota and Lexus is paying for the lease. We have another company paying for the gas. And as these companies come in, they're going to give us $30 every time they show up, and that's going to pay for the drivers. So hopefully we're going to provide transportation, food, in the wintertime, clothing to people on the streets, as well as give our guests transportation for Zip to us and Zip to you and Zip to everybody else. There's a lot of people giving a little bit, so we're hoping to do that. Lastly, we are moving the Homeless Prevention Center. We've outgrown it just because so many people are going. So we're going to go to the old Hancock Fabric Building on 66 and O. We're signing that now. We're going to call it the Help Center. It's 30,000 square feet. We're putting up 10,000 up front, so it's going to look like a Walmart instead of the way it looks now. It's going to be really nice for folks, and we hope to be in there by October 1. I'm hoping you guys are going to get an invitation. You'll come and help us with the ribbon cutting because it's going to be pretty cool. So a lot of stuff happening. We stay busy. I think our staff is up to, 93 people now? And we have about 22,000 volunteers, 23 that help us make it happen. So we're busy guys. But I know most of you have been there, and any questions you have. Otherwise, I mainly came to thank you guys and appreciate all you do.
Any questions for Pastor Tom?
Move approval. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve a grant contract with the People City Mission for the Family Shelter Program. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you for joining us today.
V is a grant contract with the Bay in the amount of $45,000 for general operations of the Bay. The contract is funded by Juvenile Justice Prevention Funds for the period of July 1st, 2017 through June 30th, 2018.
Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. How's everybody doing? Thanks for having me here, first of all, and thank you for considering us for the grant this year. We're really excited. We've had an amazing summer. We're really looking forward to growing into next year. One of the things we're excited about is expanding our All Access Pass program, which a number of you visited us early this year, so kind of heard a little bit about that. And we're hoping to have around 125 students enrolled in that to have free access to the Bay, access to mentors, and also some meals and things like that. We're in the process of rolling out our kitchen at the coffee bar, which is something we've been working on for quite some time. And the really cool thing with that is we'll be able to provide meals there at the Bay for our All Access Pass kids, and they actually will be able to order a meal in a way that anybody else would. So there's nobody in there that could know who's getting a free meal and who's not. It's a pretty dignifying experience we're really excited about. So a lot going on, and I think you guys were down recently, so just wanted to thank you. If you have any questions, then I'd love to answer them for you.
Could you introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Quinn. I'm Director of Development at the Bay.
Yes.
Sorry.
So we were out
Thank
there,
you.
we were volunteering, and it was a great experience.
Yeah, thank
We
you
learned a
guys.
lot about your programs.
Yeah, we'd love to
about
have
the
you.
mission to help exploited children. So it's, yeah. Any questions for Quinn? Commissioner Shore?
I have been impressed with the variety of programs. I know you have a big event there tonight, Rise, and I've seen
Yep.
the Bay, listed as,
Yeah.
the host for a variety of different events. So it's nice that that space is open to other groups to come and experience what you're doing.
Yeah, it's been really exciting. The community's really embraced it, and we're just getting busier and busier all the time with community events as well, which has been exciting. So, yeah.
Move approval. Second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to approve the grant contract with the Bay for general operations. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 7 are consent items. Utility permit number 1571, allowing Windstream Nebraska Inc. to relocate existing facilities in conflict with County Bridge Replacement Project 17-9. There is no cost to the county. Right-of-way contracts between Lancaster County and the following: Lower Platte South Natural Resources District, North First Street and Raymond Road, in an amount of $1,930.50. Douglas W. Althouse, North 148th Street and Alville Road, in an amount of $1,135. Receive and place on file the County Treasurer's midterm report of 2015 distress warrants.
Move approval of the consent items?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the consent items. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Yes.
carries 5-0. Number 8 is public comment. Those wishing to speak on items relating to county business, non-agenda, may do so at this time.
Is there anyone in the audience here to speak about an issue not on the agenda? Please come forward. Good morning, sir.
My name's David Tweedy. I live out at the old air base. Excuse me, I'm a little nervous. Or Arnold Heights, as you all call it. I was wondering if the commission here could look into inconsistency of the land value out there. I have a neighbor to my north, south, east, and west. They have 0.32 to 0.36 acres, and their value for just the land is $25,000. My value for my land, which is 0.36, is $40,000. I didn't realize this until I protested the taxes. And the referee says he wasn't interested in the land. It was the whole picture type thing. You know, the land, the house, whatever. And that's what he was basing it on. There's also some inconsistency of the CDU, whatever that is, I'm not sure. But some houses out there, they were all built in 1957 for the government. Some of those CDUs are 3 typical, some are 4 typical, some are 5. I mean, there's no consistency on a lot of stuff out there. And all these houses were built by the same contractor, the same time. And as far as I'm concerned, or the way I understand it, they should all be about the same, but they're not. I mean, I'm paying $40,000 just for the land in taxes, but the neighbor's only paying $25,000 for the same size of land.
Well, and that's where I know there's a lot of housing out there that, and I don't know, so 2 things. One, you've gone through the protest process. You've received the notification from the referee, and are you planning to appeal that to the Board of Equalization?
The only problem with appealing is you're supposed to have new evidence.
Right, but
and I don't have new evidence, because that's just the evidence I had is I gave to the referee, and he'd never even appraised any houses out in that neck of the woods.
Having new evidence is not a requirement to appeal that determination to the Board of Equalization. So next week, next Tuesday, the Board of Equalization, which is the county board, will review every case that has been appealed to the board. And so that's the process. You go through the initial referee process, then you by the end of the week, by August 4th, you need to submit a request to appeal that determination to the Board of Equalization. The next week, we will take a look at that at this very meeting following our regular meeting. We have a Board of Equalization where we will go case by case and look at individual properties. And so I would encourage you to go ahead and follow that process through so that we can take a look at it that way. But and number 2, out in Arnold Heights, there are a lot of different types of housing. I know that there's public housing out there, some scattered site. And so depending on what type of housing that you're dealing with, if it's all privately owned, there are some different factors involving, building permits and whatnot. So it's really a complicated process. That's why.
But the land value, sir?
Well, I would have to take a look at that, and that's a good point, because, obviously land values are something that should be consistent, but may not be, and we don't know until we actually go through the Board of Equalization process, in which we can ask the individual that we contracted with at Great Plains Appraisal to come in and answer those questions, and he would be able to answer those questions.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions for Mr. Tweedy?
Tweedy, yes, sir.
Commissioner Shore.
And while this is a year that we're doing a large reappraisal, always ask the county assessor in the off years to look at certain clusters of neighborhoods. They have a little bit more time to study those in depth and make comparisons, so we certainly can make that request as well.
Okay. I would like to thank you for your time.
No.
I've gotten no place. I've been there 3 or 4 times.
Again, I would just encourage you to go ahead and follow the process through and to appeal to the board, and we can look at it next Tuesday. And if you don't have to be here, but you could certainly join us again. It is the public process. The public is encouraged to participate. It's a process. And
yes, sir.
Yep. Commissioner Avery?
The point is, it may not be over for you. You still have avenues to get the kind of redress you're asking for.
Okay, so
it's not a promise.
Yeah, well, so far I've been running into walls about nobody knows why the value of land's so much different.
You.
Well, thank you for your time, and
If you're going to do that, stop by the county clerk's office while you're here. And
yes, sir.
And we'll get you fixed up, so.
Okay, I'll go right next door then.
Thank you.
Thank you. And try to have a nice day.
You too. Anyone else here from the public wishing to speak? And I don't know, Ms. Wilbig, I know you missed your agenda item. I don't know if you wanted to go ahead and give a presentation about the information of the program? Absolutely, come on up, yep.
Karen Wobig with the Lancaster Extension Office, and first my apologies for underestimating your efficiency today. You definitely went through that agenda. I was kind of trying to time it and miscalculated, so apologies for that. All I really wanted to do was to introduce you maybe to a person on staff. The Nutrition Education Program is what part of that grant or that agreement is about, and thank you to the county for being a collaborator within that. That's been operating since about 1992, I believe, and the county has a piece, and the Lincoln Housing Authority has a piece, and then the university SNAP Ed department has a piece, and that's the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. So anyway, we have had one of our staff relocate to Rhode Island, actually, this is Emily Gradup, and she's been with the Nutrition Education Program for 3 years. And she has recently taken on a leadership of the FNEP side of our nutrition education program, which is the expanded food and nutrition education piece. And since the other person left, she now is in charge of the SNAP and the FNEP side of nutrition education. And so Emily Gradup came with me today to just kind of be a part of this. But again, my apologies. It was fun listening to everybody that did speak up here. The nutrition education program is involved in Centerpoint, and actually they've been meeting with the Bay now, which you heard about, to provide that education. And this grant that you approved, and thank you for doing that, kind of targets the Lincoln Housing Authority population, so those receiving the vouchers. And the senior sites that are Lincoln Housing Authority owned, we program there as well. So thank you for that. I don't know if you have any questions for Emily, but...
Questions for Karen or Emily? And just so you know, last week we had a couple public hearings that went very long, some special presentations that went very long. Yes. Today we did not have that problem.
Okay. Yeah.
It went very quick, and so we understand it is always a challenge to guess how fast or how the pace in which we conduct business.
Yes, so, and we should have. I was kind of trying to have a narrow margin. It's Fair Week, as you know, and so things are hopping at our office, and lots of movement going out to the fair today. I'm sure I'll see probably all of you out there at different times. So I'll pay a little closer attention to timing next time. But thank you again for your support of our collaborating program.
Good luck in your new position. A lot of acronyms. When you listen to Karen talk, it's like you got alphabet soup going on.
That's true. I do apologize for that. Yeah, but thank you.
Thank you, Emily, for you taking on the new responsibilities, and we look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else in the public wishing to make comment? I was hoping you wanted to make a public comment, or else you just wanted to...
Should I sign in?
Please do, yep.
Well, I came today mainly Gary Chrisman. I had a tax protest that was turned down, and I mainly came to talk to you, but since you're all here, I'll talk to all of you, I guess. The referee put down on there, which I wrote my note and I can't find it, insufficient alternate price. I've listed 7 or 8 things that I'd have to repair to equal the value the assessor put on my property. No one will tell me what that is. How do I prove this alternate value? I was going to ask you privately, but as a group, you might be able to explain what that means.
Right. Well, I would be more than happy to sit down and meet with you, but I would give you the same advice that I gave the previous person, which is to follow the process and to go through the Board of Equalization, because next Tuesday we will have our consultant that we're working with, he'll be here, and he'll be able to go through each property, and he'll be able to go address. And like I said, it's every document that you provide becomes a public document. We will go through them one at a time, and and you will be given the opportunity, as a member of the public, to speak during that item. I mean, and so I think that's, and just generally speaking, again, I would encourage you to, while you're here, to file that BOE appeal. But yeah, without having more information, we have all talked to a lot of taxpayers, property owners, going through their different properties, and so yeah, we just need to.
Yeah, the only thing I can give you is go get estimates for repairs. Would that be sufficient to you as a board?
Again, without knowing all the specifics, that's why next Tuesday would be the better time, because like I said, we will have Mr. Kubert here, who is with Great Plains, and he can advise us. And
I just talked to the protest area where they're. She said that I should make a note that 3 of the properties I compared with all had their tax value lowered. Well, mine went up $23,000.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at $12,000 to $20,000 repairs to get it up to that value. So should I go get estimates for you? What my repairs are going to be?
I would advise you that whatever information you feel you need to present to show the true value, the market value of your property, and to provide that information next week. But we can kind of talk through the different specifics of your case at that time.
And you'll have the complete file to look at?
Yes, we will.
Because I provided pictures also.
We will have the entire
I was in
packet.
shock when they didn't change anything.
And I would, like I said, again, you're more than welcome to join us next Tuesday. It's the public meeting. We will go case by case, property by property, and you'll be given the opportunity to address us.
And put it in writing, then come in Tuesday.
Yep.
Will there be a lot of people here?
We need to have that by the 4th in the clerk's office.
Yes, I just talked to them.
Okay.
And then I got the appeal to the state too.
Right.
I just don't know what that term means, alternate value.
Mm-hmm. We wouldn't be able to answer that question without seeing the file and the notes by the referee. It's really hard to see.
The terminology, I don't know what to put together for you. And they don't want to explain it either. Maybe they can't explain what they meant by that. So I'll file it and then be here Tuesday.
Perfect. Look forward to seeing you next Tuesday.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks so much. And did we catch your name? I'm sorry.
Oh, Gary Crispin.
That's right. Yep, you did. Sorry. I didn't write it down, so I apologize.
Oh, that's all right. It's right here.
You wrote it down. Perfect. I'm glad you were on the ball.
I was just going to talk to you privately, but you're all here, so it's easier.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. Anyone else from the public here to make a comment? Okay, Mr. Clerk, please continue the agenda.
Next is number 9, announcements. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold a staff meeting on Thursday, August 3rd, 2017 at 8:30 a.m. in the Bill Luxford Studio of the County City Building. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold their next regular meeting on Tuesday, August 8th, 2017 at 9 a.m. in Room 112 of the County City Building. County Commissioners can be reached at 402-441-7447 or commish@lancaster.ne.gov. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting is broadcast live. It is rebroadcast on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays on 5 City TV, cable channel 5. In addition, the meeting may be viewed on the internet at lancaster.ne.gov under 5 City TV video on demand or 5 City TV on YouTube.
Move we adjourn.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to adjourn. Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, that concludes the Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting. Have a good week.